I am going to joke about this, and I would like to make very clear, just because I'm telling a few jokes about this doesn't mean I'm celebrating it. So if you've been on Twitter or YouTube or involved with it at all, you will have seen that Leafy has been deleted from YouTube. His entire channel is gone. Now, I want to come out straight out of the gates and say two things. One, I think he brought it upon himself, right? Two, I think YouTube went too far and they should not have deleted his channel, okay? I think both of those things can be true, and I'm going to tell you why. So Leafy, he's like started the commentary thing, which I've kind of been a part of, kind of not really. I think in around 2016 when commentary was really blowing up, I saw there was like my chance to kind of get really deep into this community and go hard and just become one of those YouTubers. And then something in my brain went, I don't want to talk about fucking YouTube drama for the rest of my fucking life. I'm pivoting, and that's when I started doing more comedy stuff, because I'm a stand-up comedian. I understand the YouTube drama and I'm kind of interested by it, but I don't want it to be my entire life like it is for some of these cunts, because that's boring, right? Now, I do realize that I said I don't want to talk about YouTube drama for the rest of my life. 4 years later, it's 2020. I'm sitting in my red chair talking about Leafy. So I guess I've failed in that mission statement. But at least I'm getting on stage and telling dick jokes. Oh, no, wait, that's illegal because of coronavirus. Oh, fuck, I am Leafy. This is terrible. No, look, okay, on a serious note, here's what I think. I relate a lot to Leafy, and I totally understand why people like his stuff. I think he gets like he gets a lot of negative attention, and a lot of it is justified, but a lot of people are also completely ignoring or downplaying the appeal of Leafy's content, and the reason why people like it is often the reason why people hate it, and that is it's low effort, fuck the world, I don't care if you're mad, I'm not even trying to be funny, I'm just going to say offensive shit. That's like what it is. And to be honest, that's my roots, you know? Like that's how I kind of started doing this shit. I've moved away from it a little bit because I just want to be as funny as possible and I love stand-up comedy. But like where I started was, you know, just fucking making fun of people for the sake of it, not even for comedy, just making fun of cunts, flagrantly like disobeying community guidelines because it was funny, getting post banned, doing it again anyway, saying, haha, you can't stop me, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And that shit has a huge appeal because no one else does it, because if you do it, the ultimate end of that path, and this is why I moved off it, is what's happened to Leafy. You get fucking nuked from space. You know what Leafy was? He was Osama bin Laden, right? Going, oh, I can do whatever I want. You can't find me. And then he throws a plane at towers, and then America goes, oh yeah, cool. And they send a strike force, take him out in the middle of the night, and then plant hentai on his PC so everyone thinks he's a freak. Now, I do realize that analogy is a bit of a stretch, and also America orchestrated 9/11, so it doesn't really work, but that's what I'm going with. I'm trying to keep this fucking entertaining, because all I'm seeing on this topic is cunts just arguing with each other and going for each other's neck. My serious thoughts on it are, Leafy brought consequences on himself, and he's not a fucking idiot. He's a very smart person. He knew he was going to get consequences. Whether or not he knew YouTube would just nuke him from space and completely delete his channel, I think that's... I don't think that's what he would have thought would have happened. I mean, I didn't think that was going to happen to him. Although, I kind of did. I called it a few months back. I wrote on Twitter and I said, look, YouTube is almost certainly... I said something like, YouTube's almost certainly going to delete Leafy's channel if he keeps going like this. People might celebrate, but I would ask, with Leafy gone, who will be on the fringes of acceptable next? And by that I meant, and you know, I was right, lots of people are celebrating this, but a lot of the people that are celebrating this shit do content that's in the same genre, which is, you know, comment and criticism. And, you know, to be fair to those people, there is a lot more humor, a lot more comment, and a lot more fairness in their content. But with Leafy, who was at the edge of acceptability gone, that border now moves closer to me. You know, and I would say that I go a lot harder than some of these other cunts on YouTube, because that's just the type of humor that I make. So it does concern me, YouTube just nuking his channel with no warning, or at least that's what it looks like. Maybe he did get strikes, maybe he didn't. But what it looks like is that they didn't strike him for the videos that he was making. He had no strikes on his channel, so no warnings, or any strikes he did have had expired, so you go back to a clean slate. That's how it works on YouTube. And they've just fucking nuked his channel seemingly with no warning. So I don't like that. I don't like that YouTube has seemed to have like stepped and danced around their own policies to surgically remove someone from the community that they don't approve of. And of course, there's going to be many creators that YouTube doesn't approve of. I mean, it's such a big website, you can't like everything that everyone's fucking uploading. But I would say that if we're really going to surgically excise people because after like finding any reason to nitpick and find where they violated guidelines, can we look at the cunts that are doing seance videos with dead celebrities the day after they die? Maybe that's where we should start with that kind of stuff. I mean, that's clickbait. Like it's I understand why he's faced consequences, but I do think YouTube has overreached a little bit, basically. Now, that being said, right, now that I've kind of spoken my piece defending Leafy, here's why I think he might be a little bit of an idiot. Now, you can't make 12 videos on one person in a row that is just targeted harassment. Now, a lot of people have been saying, oh, he made fucking 9, 12 videos on fucking Pokimane, and the big counter argument to that is, oh, only a few of them were actually about her. The rest of them just had her in the thumbnail and the title, and then it was actually about finance and the stock market. Now, that is a non-argument, because all you're saying is, oh, he didn't violate this guideline. He actually violated the clickbait, misleading thumbnail and title thing, which would still get you consequences from YouTube. And also, just because you don't speak about someone in the actual video, if you're still photoshopping photos of one girl after you've, like, you know, called her ugly and said a bunch of mean things about her and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that Pokimane should be free from criticism, because she's a public figure. We're all open to it. But if you make a couple of videos going at someone and criticizing them, and then you make 7 to 10 more videos where their name is in the title, and you photoshopped like unflattering, ugly photos of them, or put them in scenarios that they wouldn't want to be seen in. Like, one of them was her in a fucking a hijab. Another one was her like in an explosion and like all that kind of stuff. If you do that, to me, that still fits YouTube's definition of targeted harassment. It's not as bad as doing that and then also including content about her, but it does violate the guidelines. Like, I do think if you don't think that, you are dumb. Because just because I mean, if you were to put it in like in a stalker's tense, and I'm absolutely not saying that Leafy's stalking this woman, but say if someone had a restraining order against someone, and then they started posting photos of them, it's like, oh, well, I didn't go near them, I just did this. And you know what I mean? It's like deliberately crossing the line, but not too much, and playing with fire, essentially, is what he was doing, and he got fucking burned. So I do think that he fucked up there. And but even with the criticism that I have for the type of content that he was making, in the sense that it was like, it was more criticism than entertainment. a few of them, right? And again, I totally get that because let's be real, that was my roots. That's where I came from. And that is like entertaining in itself. That's that like angsty teen energy of fuck the rules, I'll do what I want, and being edgy for the sake of it. That shit is fun. But unfortunately, the internet and these companies that run it do not want that shit there. And they have made it pretty clear in their guidelines and with the actions that they've taken in the past, where in the sense that everyone saw this shit coming, right? Especially him. You know, if I were him, I would know that what I'm doing is playing with fire and at some point I'm going to get burned. What I think has happened is I don't think he was expecting that heavy of a response, and I do think the response was too heavy. I think what should have happened is YouTube should have deleted all of the Pokemon videos in one swoop and gone, that's strike one, so you know. And then he could continue on. Now, if he just made one, maybe two videos, the first two videos on Pokemon, I think he would have been sweet. And I don't think he should have deserved a strike for the first two videos. And I think she's even said as much as well. But the problem is he did those other 10 that, yes, only very, very briefly touched on her. I'm pretty sure that I watched all of them. He briefly touched on her and then just went into like finance and stocks and bullshit and ordering food and that kind of stuff, which is, you know, funny of like, you think I'm going to talk about this? I'm actually talking about this. But at the end of the day, after those two videos, then going on and doing fucking 10, 12 more, that fits YouTube's definition of targeted harassment. And I think that's pretty clear. So I think he deserved consequences. I don't think he deserved this. And those are my thoughts on it.